Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astrogate, Mysore. So today I'm dealing with one of the most toughest combinations in the astrological, you know, planetary combinations. So Moon and Saturn. People call it with several names. One of the most common name which has been associated with this is Visha Yoga. So what is the meaning of that? Visha, as per the astrological language, is different when compared to the direct dictionary, meaning. Visha, as per the dictionary meaning, means it is poison. So here it is Visha Yoga. Does it mean that people will get some poisonous food, they will eat some poisonous food and get into some trouble? No. This is not a poisonous bite or a poisonous meal. This is poisonous thoughts. The Visha yoga is happening with Moon and Saturn. So this is one of the names, but not very prominently used. There are many other names for this particular combination. I call it in a very different way. I call it the most melancholic combination of all the astrological planetary combination is Moon and Saturn. Why is it melancholic? Because the person will always, not mostly, in this combination, if it is very tough combination for that native, will always get into a problem with the situation where he has to focus on the situation and try to solve it. But in due course, he will suddenly get deviated, get into other situations, and get into such a mess of thoughts that he will become melancholic. That is, our teachers in the classroom would always say that you are in the classroom, but no more in the classroom. So that was very clearly saying that you're physically present, you're mentally absent. This is the word which I think most of the teachers use in their lectures. You're physically present here, you're mentally absent. You're, I don't know where you are. Where is your mind roaming around? You're sitting here. I know that you're sitting here, but you're not actually concentrating on what I am trying to tell you. This is what that person suffers in every situation. That is, they get caught into situations, they get involved into situations, they get into the stress to such a level that the performance in their regular daily routine work will get hampered. So let us now go into the detailed, understanding of this particular combination. Before that, I usually keep writing it on the board, but today I'm not using the board because my wife has listed down the Karakatwas of Moon and Saturn. That will exhaust the board. I will need three boards, big boards, big ones. 8 feet by 6 feet is my board, but still it's not enough. So that means if we really take up the Karakatvas from the epics, from the Uttara Kalamrita by Kalidasa, that itself will need three big boards in which you'll have to write down. And if you put on, add on your own experiences, it is, it's a huge,
Humongous task.
humongous task. But anyway, I will just give you some of them one by one. This is individual karakatwas, that is individual significations of Moon, which is the fastest planet, and Saturn, which is the slowest planet. Let us go through it one by one. So these are the karakatwas for significations for moon. Moon signifies mind, mother, emotional aspects, expressions, feelings, mood swings, softness, timidness, soft voice, sweet voice, fast, swift, liquids, cash, flow of cash, currency, chemicals, spirit, fragrance, deodorants, foreign languages, clarity of skin, vocabulary, the flow of thought, allergies, skin, the beauty of skin, cleanliness with regard to own body, phobias, particularly drowning, and water related phobias like drinking water, they feel that it is dangerous, so they are very finicky about it. Water infections, breathing problems, asthmatic, suffocation, pneumonia, silver jewelry, depression, anxiety, infancy, childish behavior, neonatal complications, urinary bladder, young children, particularly female, chatterbox, talks too much, loose talks, imaginations, colors, and detergents. So, this is
Just a glimpse.
just a glimpse. It's only 1% of what moon signifies. It also signifies the face, the teeth, danta, dental, the teeth, and it signifies the circulation of blood. It also signifies your sight. I have not written those things. Sun signifies the eye, moon signifies eyesight. So it's exhausting. So let us go into Saturn. The Karakatwas, that is the significations for Saturn, the slowest planet. These are not as much as Moon, but each signification is so tough, is so powerful that when it mixes with some other planet, it makes a whole big transformation. So, Saturn, old age, hard work, responsibility, lethargy, delay, slowness. That is why it is called Shanai's Chara. Chara means movement, Shani means slow movement. Chronic problems, sudden problems with regard to failures, stagnation, demotions, humiliation, and extraordinary promotions. See the abstract of Saturn. I'm not only talking about negatives here. Demotion is like a humiliation. A person goes through inquiry and suddenly gets demoted. Extraordinary promotions, that is, he suddenly jumps 3 scales, 4 scales higher, he becomes the CEO. Menial jobs, the general masses, the public. Persistence, patience, unemotional, grit, goal orientedness, experience, and bedridden, problems in the leg, limping, dragging, stooping, hunchback, tuberculosis, congestion, discomfort, breathing accidents which might cause breathing difficulties due to the congestion, and
Polio.
polio. You have many deformations,
Deformities.
deformities in the body, in the limbs, and this planet is the one which gives that particular problems of the limb joints, rheumatoid arthritis, and which actually gives the ashtavakra. Ashtavakra is that 8 joints of the limbs getting distorted. So distortion.
So there is endless list actually.
Endless. These are mostly, I have given a mix of negative and also positive. For example, the most important and positive, you know, signification of Saturn? Patience,
Perseverance.
which people lack. The most important signification of moon, purity of thought. Now, people don't give any importance to it. Anyway, let us, patience and purity of thought both mixed together in harmony, you have a peaceful life. So,
That's a rare combination
very rare combination with moon and Saturn together
without any affliction.
without any affliction. So, let us go into the combination of moon and Saturn. I will touch a little bit of advanced level here and again come back. When it is a combination, we are to notice the speed of each planet. When we are doing the calculations also, we need to notice whether a planet at the time of birth, what was the speed of it. You get that. You can do the calculations also. You can take a week prior to the date of birth and week ahead of date of birth, calculate the average of motion, and then you have a planetary average and see the percentage of deviation. You will understand whether a planet is moving 10% faster than its original speed, or it is 25, 30% or 40% faster than its original speed. So the speed of the planet. Secondly, we need to see, anyway, moon never gets retrograde. About Saturn, whether the combination has any one planet which is retrograde. Number three, we need to see which is ahead and which is behind. Whether moon is at 10 degrees and Saturn is at 12, or Saturn is at 10 degrees and moon is at 12. These things matter a lot. Apart from that, the placement of these planets in different nakshatras, the placement of these planets in different avasthas, the placement of these planets in different rashis, it's a huge confusing
Their
combination.
lordships.
Their lordships, depending on the ascendant. So now, I think the preamble of this itself is become huge. So my wife was telling that you cannot do it in one video. I'm trying to cramp the whole thing as much as possible, but still, I will tell you this particular combination needs at least 3 videos. I will try my best. We will be able to give you the placement of this combination in different placements
Quadrants,
like quadrants, trines,
Dusthanas.
Dusthanas, that is the Triksthanas, the 6th, 8th, and the 12th, and also the Upachaya Sthanas, the 3,
Now, this
6,
also
11,
differs
12.
with regard to the different ascendants.
Yeah, obviously.
So, it's like too much of permutation combination, which is really difficult to put it across. But still, we'll try our best.
It is something like, picking that single card which the parrot does. The parrot is, that astrology in which a parrot is used. But anyway, I always am against those people who are actually, using animals in cage for this thing. But still, it is used. Shakuna Shastra, or we have this Shastra of the parrot, where it comes and lifts a card. There, it does it for all the planets at the same time, God bless. But here, just to lift one card for one placement of Moon and Saturn and tell that this is going to happen out of all the 1,000 permutations and combinations, that is the art of an astrologer.
Yes, to choose.
That is the toughness of this particular study. They choose this correct card for the correct moment. Anyway, now let us start with the significations of Moon and Saturn. An interest in life, to live life, to have that beauty associated with your life is Moon. Second most important karakatva of Moon is the love, the motherly love, the love with everything else what is around you, including your family, your garden, your associates, your friends, everything else. That particular portion gets hit when Saturn is sitting along with Moon. That is, you lose interest. So when you are losing interest, imagine you lose not only interest in the external world, you lose interest with your own self. So that, in the other sense, we call it as demotivated, or the demotivation is one of the most difficult things to handle, because if you are into a situational depression, if the situation is changed, your depression will go away. Let's, for example, a boy was trying to, cross over and become a chartered accountant. He has been trying 10 attempts. It's not happened. He is totally demotivated, but that is associated with a situation. But the situation is that in case he clears the 11th round and he becomes a chartered accountant, there will be associated bad memories and regret that he couldn't do it, early. But still, he will now get motivated and he will start working. He will be like, wow, I did it. So, this situational depression is caused by Moon and Saturn. The demotivation which is caused by Moon and Saturn on a permanent basis is very difficult for one to lift and simply tell that, okay, from tomorrow I am going to be normal. Very difficult, because this is a chronic problem. This is a mental problem, it's a psychological problem, it's a chronic problem. It's the fear of failure which has continuously hit the native, and because it has continuously hit, he will lose the interest of even performing one step ahead. So it takes a lot of patience and perseverance from the counselor, the parent, or the mentor to somehow bring the native out of that shell and put him back into track. This is the most biggest negative of this combination, getting into one's own shell and not going, not coming out and performing at all. That is, not trying to see life ahead, losing the interest of future days. This is what is was very initially told as expressions, emotions, feelings, mood swings. you know this whole thing comes into one particular point, the mind. This combination of Moon and Saturn, for many people I have seen, has given excellent profits in their business. Very good profit with regard to, association with Navy, with fisheries, with many people I have seen, they have made money even in scrap. Can you imagine people making money in scrap? It's a huge business. Scrap of what? Scrap of anything, particularly plastic scrap, which comes under Moon and Saturn. Plastic scrap, which actually, you people use every day. We are using plastic covers, we are using plastic consumables, are actually packed in that, and we cut open, we throw the plastic, that gets recycled. The process of plastic recycling today is a huge $1 million business. People make a lot of money in that. Don't think that that is a menial job. It's a huge industry. It's a streamlined industry nowadays. Plastic is now recycled and used on tarmac on the road, and even used as bricks for walls. Now they are thinking of using that plastic for making your boats, your roof tiles, everything, even the doors. They are going to recycle plastic and make it into doors, windows, your many thing else. So recycling of scrap, very very big industry. These are all very minute things which people should understand. If people of astrology have to learn astrology, please take up these points. These are very important. Another scrap which is recycled, food waste. All that food which is manufactured will not be used before expiry date. So most of the packets which are, you might go on the counter and see that, and oh, it's 14th. Okay, today is 15th. So that means I can't use this anymore. So you will leave it there. You will not buy it. You will not pick it. What will the shopkeeper do with that? He will return it back. Return it back in the sense the guy who had supplied it will take it back. So what will he do about it? What will he do about those packed food? That food will get again recycled. It will go into poultry, it will go into dairy, it will go into the pig farms, it goes into many things. It is not gone waste, it doesn't go waste. So that very clearly means that there is a huge industry behind it once again. So people who are having this particular problem in the chart of Moon and Saturn, you are not supposed to waste food. You are supposed to donate food. If you have to come out of this particular problem, you need to donate fresh cooked food. I have seen a very bad habit. Very bad habit. That's one thing which I love what my wife does. She takes out and keeps aside the first prepared meal which is fresh and then gives it to somebody or an animal or whatever. She does that. So that's the idea. What is the what is going to give as a relief, as a remedial measure for Moon Saturn. I have seen many people, a bad practice. Leftover food, they think that they are doing charity when they are giving it to somebody. No, no. The other person is doing good for you, that he is accepting it. You are not doing any charity by giving leftover food to anybody. No. If at all you want to do charity by cooking food, if you have the patience, cook and serve fresh food. That is the best remedial measure for Moon and Saturn, because Saturn means stale, rotting, that putrefied smell, the rank. We call it rank. So, Moon, fresh, healthy, fluffy, soft. Anna, Moon means rice. Anna sthanadipati, Anna karaka, Moon. So when you have food and still both significations mixing together, it becomes stale food. So please do not ever think that a leftover food,
You can give it,
however good it
you
is,
can give it to animals.
yeah, you can give it to animals provided they are not wild animals. Do not give any food to wild animals. I have seen many videos, people doing shorts, people passing through the wildlife sanctuaries, stopping there and throwing biscuits. What do you feel? You are doing something great for the monkeys or great for the deer which are there around you? You are actually spreading infection. You
Right.
actually should not even lower your glass. Your breath has infectious bacteria and virus which the animals even don't, they are not aware of it. Please do not throw biscuits or throw buns, biscuits, or any food article in wildlife areas. This is my request, because many animals are dying because of those plastic cars and because of those food items which are actually
Having
having a
preservatives.
lot of preservatives and they don't know about them. Eating them, many animals go sick and die. So we should not be a cause to death, right? If at all you have this combination, please never do that. So, and even when giving it to animals, you should have a common sense or a general knowledge that which animal can eat what. Please do not put leftover rice, cooked rice, to cows. Giving cooked rice to cows is as good as killing the cow. You give a handful of cooked rice to a cow, that day and that night the cow will bleed. Why does it bleed? I went and asked a veterinary doctor as to why does this cow bleed. He told, "Did you put?" He asked me, "Did you give it rice?" I told, "No, I don't give rice." Then I went inside and asked my one of my house members, and one guest was there at home, and she told, "Yeah, yeah, yesterday some rice was left over. I just emptied it in that bucket of the cow." I was shocked. You are not supposed to give rice to that cow. And what does it happen? So I asked the veterinary doctor, and he clearly told that these are ruminants. They have three stomach, and because of those three stomachs, they have to get back whatever they have eaten. They chew the cud, and again it goes back. The rice what they ate will not come back. It slips back and stays there, and it causes ulcer, which will cause bleeding, internal bleeding. I will tell you, if you are putting rice, please put it to the dogs. Please serve it to the dogs. I'll not even tell put serve them to the dogs. Keep a extra plate, serve them to the dogs. Do not throw or put rice or feed rice to cows or any other ruminant like a horse, a donkey, a cow, or a buffalo. Please don't do it. It is karma, bad karma. Okay. So next, the next most important, I think it's a very heavy video. The next most important of Moon and Saturn is stagnation, and Moon is water. Water stagnation and bad sewage treatment can give a lot of health problems. So, people who are having Moon and Saturn in their ascendant or any other place in the chart, you should never be close to that area. You can get even one mosquito bite, you will get into
Infection.
problems. So that means you are already having a Moon Saturn combination, which is going to give you water related problems. Water related problems doesn't mean that you go and drink that stagnant water. No, you don't do that. All that which is grown in that water and all that infection which transpires from that water, which is contagious, which can give problems starting from scabies or problems of the skin. All those problems where you have psoriasis, you have eczema, you have many problems of the skin, and then it goes into and becomes an inflammation because of allergy in your lungs, pneumonia. So please see that you are not staying close to any, lake or a pond which has got totally infected. And if that is the case and you cannot move your house from there and you cannot move, make a big association, or, alone you cannot fight. Make a big association. See that the sewage treatment is done properly in your area. Make that. It's a movement. You have to do it today or tomorrow. You cannot tell that I have sun and Moon and Saturn in my lagna. I am the only person who has that combination. Now searching for people with Moon and Saturn is difficult. It's not like that. If you have an ideology, you have to convince others and do it. So Saturn Moon, you are not supposed to, indulge into drugs. I'm coming to the next topic. Saturn, first of all, it is going to slow down your way of thinking, thinking process. And you have got into a big indulgence into narcotics, drugs. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. It will simply spoil your life. It will spoil your path of life. So, for young students who are having this particular combination. For those children who are between the teenage, 14 and above, and till you are around, there is no age limit. I'll leave the upper age limit to yourselves. So all those young fellows who are trying to, carve their future, please do not get involved into chemical abuse, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. These three things are clearly related to Moon and Saturn. You have that combination, you have this combination, sorry, that Moon and Saturn. Please be away from these three things. One is chemical abuse, the other one is drug abuse. Drug abuse is freely taking medicines. Tomorrow I'm going to get a fever. I'll take a medicine. Today paracetamol. I think I might get into this. So let me take a lot of medicine and keep it ready so that I'll keep popping in. People have phobia, which is the another one. So this particular thing is a very big thing. It's not easy. So chemical abuse, drug abuse, and alcohol abuse should not be done at any cost by anyone. But people who are having Moon and Saturn, they succumb to it, then it is very difficult for us to pull them out of it. So, counselors and people who are there in community medicine, they go through a difficult time to handle these people. They are already demotivated, they are in depression, and also in chemical abuse. God bless, it's so difficult to do it. So, I think I have handled four most important topics for this Moon Saturn combination for today. There are a lot of topics. I will come out with one or two more videos. So, thank you very much for today's class.